Here's an engaging introduction for your speech on the infinite game, inspired by Simon Sinek's motivational style. Asterisk, asterisk. Good morning, afternoon, everyone. Asterisk, asterisk. Imagine playing a game where the rules constantly change. The players come and go, and there's no finish line in sight. At first, it might sound frustrating, even impossible to win, right? But here's the twist. What if the goal isn't to win, but to keep playing, to keep growing, and to leave the game better than you found it? In life, in business, and in relationships, we often get caught up in trying to win to be the best, to achieve the next milestone, or to conquer a competitor. But what if that mindset is holding us back? What if true success lies not in winning, but in embracing an infinite mindset? Today, we're diving into the infinite game, a philosophy that challenges us to rethink how we approach challenges, measure success, and lead with purpose. It's not just a way of thinking, it's a way of living that transforms not only how we see ourselves, but how we inspire others to join us on this journey. Let's explore how adopting this mindset can reshape your future and help you build something truly lasting. Does this match the tone and message you're aiming for? Finite games and infinite games are two distinct ways of understanding the world, and this distinction is at the heart of adopting the infinite mindset. Finite games are characterized by clear rules, a fixed set of players, and an ultimate goal: to win. These are the games most of us are familiar with, like sports, board games, or competitions. They have definitive outcomes where one party emerges victorious and the other loses. Once the game is over, it's over. The purpose of the finite game is singular. Achieve a predetermined objective within a defined framework. Infinite games, on the other hand, operate by a completely different set of principles. Unlike finite games, infinite games have no fixed endpoint. The players may change, the rules may evolve, and the purpose is not to win, but to perpetuate the game. Life, business, and many aspects of our existence are not finite, they are infinite. They don't have clear winners or losers because they don't have a finish line. They are ongoing, constantly evolving, and dynamic. The goal in an infinite game is not to beat an opponent, but to stay in the game, to keep progressing, and to contribute in a meaningful way. The problem arises when we approach infinite games with a finite mindset. For example, in business, many leaders focus on quarterly earnings, market share, or beating a competitor. These are finite objectives that often come at the expense of long-term sustainability and innovation. A finite mindset prioritizes short-term gains over enduring value, and this can lead to decisions that may harm the organization in the long run. Leaders who focus solely on winning against competitors often neglect the larger purpose of their organization, serving customers, fostering innovation, and making a positive impact on society. In relationships, a finite mindset can manifest as a need to be right, to control, or to win arguments. This approach creates tension and damages trust, as the focus is on personal victory rather than mutual growth. In contrast, approaching relationships with an infinite mindset shifts the focus to building understanding, creating harmony, and nurturing the bond for the long term. This doesn't mean avoiding conflict, but addressing it in a way that strengthens the relationship rather than tearing it apart. The same principle applies to personal growth. Many of us set finite goals like losing a certain amount of weight, achieving a specific job title, or acquiring material possessions. While these goals can be motivating, they can also create a sense of emptiness once achieved. This is because they are finite objectives in an infinite game. True growth comes from embracing the journey rather than fixating on the destination. It's about continuously striving to become a better version of yourself, not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. Adopting an infinite mindset requires a fundamental shift in perspective. It starts with understanding that many of the things we pursue in life are part of an infinite game. This means letting go of the obsession with winning and instead focusing on contributing, growing, and making a difference. It's about recognizing that the most meaningful pursuits don't have a finish line. They are ongoing, and their value lies in the journey rather than the destination. This shift in mindset can be liberating. It allows us to prioritize what truly matters: purpose, values, and long-term impact over temporary victories. It encourages us to think about the legacy we want to leave, the relationships we want to build, and the impact we want to have on the world. In an infinite game, success is not measured by defeating others, but by the progress we make and the contributions we leave behind. Understanding the difference between finite and infinite games is not just a theoretical concept. It's a practical tool for navigating life and leadership. When we recognize the nature of the game we're playing, we can align our actions and decisions with the infinite mindset, ensuring that we focus on what truly matters. This understanding helps us make better choices, foster stronger relationships, and build a foundation for lasting success. Adopting an infinite mindset means fundamentally changing how we approach life, work, and leadership. It requires shifting away from the traditional focus on short-term achievements and finite goals and embracing a perspective that prioritizes long-term impact, purpose, and sustainability. This mindset recognizes that success isn't about winning or beating others, but about continuing to grow, contribute, and make progress over time. It's not about striving for a singular endpoint, but about committing to a journey that has no finish line. At the core of the infinite mindset is a commitment to purpose. Purpose acts as a guiding principle, giving our actions and decisions a deeper sense of meaning. In organizations, this means looking beyond profit as the sole measure of success. Companies with an infinite mindset prioritize their mission and values, focusing on the positive impact they can have on their customers, employees, and the world. Profit is still essential, but it becomes a means to an end rather than the end itself. A strong sense of purpose inspires people, fosters loyalty, and creates a foundation for sustained growth and innovation. On a personal level, adopting an infinite mindset requires us to think about what truly drives us. It's about identifying our core values and aligning our goals with them. This helps us stay motivated even when challenges arise, because we are working towards something bigger than ourselves. When our actions are driven by a sense of purpose, we are more resilient, adaptable, and willing to persevere in the face of adversity. One of the key challenges in adopting an infinite mindset is letting go of the finite metrics that dominate our culture. In business, these metrics often take the form of quarterly earnings, market share, or rankings. While these indicators can provide useful feedback, they are limited in scope and often fail to capture the bigger picture. An overemphasis on finite metrics can lead to a win-at-all-costs mentality that undermines long-term success. For example, cutting corners to meet short-term goals might boost profits temporarily, but damage a company's reputation and trustworthiness in the long run. Similarly, in our personal lives, we often measure success through finite markers, like promotions, possessions, or social status. These achievements may provide temporary satisfaction, but they don't necessarily lead to lasting fulfillment. When we adopt an infinite mindset, we start to prioritize intrinsic values such as personal growth, meaningful relationships, and contributing to something larger than ourselves. This shift allows us to find deeper satisfaction in our pursuits, even if they don't result in immediate recognition or tangible rewards. Another critical aspect of the infinite mindset is adaptability. In an infinite game, the rules are constantly changing and new players can enter at any time. This means that rigidity and resistance to change are significant liabilities. Those with a finite mindset often struggle when circumstances shift because their strategies are designed for a fixed set of conditions. In contrast, an infinite mindset embraces change as an opportunity for growth and evolution. It encourages creativity, experimentation, and a willingness to pivot when necessary. Leaders with an infinite mindset understand the importance of investing in people and relationships. They recognize that success in an infinite game depends on the strength of the team and the trust between its members. Rather than focusing solely on individual accomplishments, they prioritize collaboration, shared goals, and a sense of belonging. This creates a culture where people feel valued and motivated to contribute their best efforts, not just for immediate results, but for the collective good over time. Adopting an infinite mindset also means embracing a long-term perspective. This doesn't mean ignoring short-term needs or challenges, but it requires balancing them with a vision for the future. Leaders with an infinite mindset make decisions that may not yield immediate rewards, but will benefit the organization and its stakeholders in the long run. They invest in areas like innovation, employee development, and sustainability because they understand that these are the building blocks of enduring success. On a personal level, this long-term perspective helps us stay focused on what truly matters. It reminds us that setbacks and failures are part of the journey and not the end of the story. An infinite mindset allows us to see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow rather than as obstacles to be avoided at all costs. It helps us maintain our motivation and commitment even when progress feels slow or uncertain. By shifting our focus from finite objectives to the infinite journey, we open ourselves to new possibilities, greater resilience, and a deeper sense of purpose. The infinite mindset encourages us to look beyond the immediate horizon and to think about the impact we want to create over the course of our lives and beyond. This perspective transforms not only how we define success, but also how we approach every aspect of our existence. Embracing vulnerability is a cornerstone of adopting an infinite mindset. Vulnerability is often misunderstood as a sign of weakness, but in reality, it is one of the most powerful tools for growth, connection, and leadership. It requires the courage to acknowledge uncertainty, admit when we don't have all the answers, and be open to feedback and change. In an infinite game, where the rules are constantly evolving and the future is uncertain, vulnerability is not just helpful, it is essential. When we embrace vulnerability, we allow ourselves to learn and grow. It is impossible to adapt and improve if we are unwilling to acknowledge our limitations or mistakes. A finite mindset often leads people to avoid showing vulnerability because they fear it might be seen as incompetence or failure. They feel compelled to project an image of confidence and control, even when the reality is far more complex. However, this facade of certainty can create barriers to progress, as it discourages open dialogue, innovation, and collaboration. Leaders who embrace vulnerability foster an environment where trust and authenticity can thrive. When a leader is willing to admit their own mistakes or seek input from others, it sends a powerful message to their team. It is okay to be imperfect, and it is okay to ask for help. This openness creates psychological safety, a condition where people feel comfortable taking risks, sharing ideas, and challenging the status quo without fear of judgment or reprisal. Psychological safety is a key driver of innovation and performance because it encourages individuals to think creatively and experiment without being constrained by the fear of failure. In personal relationships, vulnerability is the foundation of trust and connection. It involves being honest about our feelings, fears, and aspirations, even when it feels uncomfortable. By opening up to others, we invite them to do the same, creating deeper and more meaningful bonds. Vulnerability requires letting go of the need to always be in control or to always have the upper hand. It is about being present and genuine, even in moments of discomfort or uncertainty. One of the greatest challenges of embracing vulnerability is overcoming the fear of judgment or rejection. Many people hesitate to show vulnerability because they worry about how they will be perceived by others. They fear being seen as weak, incompetent, or unworthy. However, true strength lies in being willing to take that risk. Vulnerability is a demonstration of courage, as it requires us to step outside of our comfort zones and face the unknown. It is through this process that we build resilience, deepen our relationships, and grow as individuals. In the context of an infinite mindset, vulnerability is also about embracing uncertainty. In an infinite game, there are no fixed rules or guarantees. The path forward is often unclear, and outcomes cannot be predicted with certainty. This ambiguity can be unsettling, especially for those who are accustomed to finite games where the objectives are clearly defined. However, vulnerability allows us to navigate this uncertainty with grace and adaptability. It encourages us to approach challenges with curiosity and openness rather than fear or defensiveness. Vulnerability also plays a critical role in fostering collaboration and teamwork. In an infinite game, no one can succeed alone. Progress depends on the collective efforts of diverse individuals working together toward a shared purpose. Embracing vulnerability means recognizing that we don't have all the answers and that we need the perspectives, skills, and support of others to succeed. It involves being willing to listen, to learn, and to share credit for achievements. This collaborative spirit is essential for building lasting success and creating positive change. Another important aspect of vulnerability is the willingness to face failure. In an infinite game, failure is not the end, it is a natural part of the journey. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we are better equipped to learn from our failures and use them as stepping stones for growth. Instead of seeing failure as something to be avoided at all costs, we can view it as an opportunity to gain new insights, refine our approach, and build resilience. This perspective transforms failure from a source of shame into a valuable learning experience. Vulnerability also encourages empathy and compassion. When we acknowledge our own struggles and imperfections, we become more understanding of others' challenges. This empathy strengthens relationships and creates a sense of unity and shared purpose. In a world that often rewards competition and self-reliance, vulnerability reminds us of our interconnectedness and the importance of supporting one another. Ultimately, embracing vulnerability requires a shift in mindset. It involves letting go of the need for perfection and control and embracing the messiness and unpredictability of life. It is about being willing to show up authentically, even when we feel exposed or uncertain. This openness allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, adapt to changing circumstances, and find strength in our shared humanity. Prioritizing trust and collaboration is essential in an infinite game, where lasting success depends on the strength of relationships and the collective efforts of individuals working toward a shared purpose. Trust is the foundation of meaningful collaboration, and without it, progress becomes fragmented and unsustainable. In a finite game, relationships might be transactional and temporary, focused solely on achieving a specific goal. However, in an infinite game, relationships are dynamic and enduring, requiring a deep commitment to mutual respect, understanding, and shared values. Trust begins with consistency and integrity. When people consistently align their actions with their words, they demonstrate reliability and build a foundation of trust. This applies to both individuals and organizations. Leaders who prioritize trust do not simply demand it from others. They earn it through their behavior. They communicate openly, follow through on commitments, and show respect for their team members' perspectives and contributions. Trust is not a one-time achievement, but an ongoing process that requires nurturing and reinforcement. Collaboration flourishes in an environment of trust. When individuals feel safe and valued, they are more likely to contribute their ideas, take risks, and engage in creative problem solving. This sense of psychological safety is a key component of effective teamwork. It allows people to voice their opinions, admit mistakes, and ask for help without fear of judgment or reprisal. Leaders who foster psychological safety create a culture where innovation thrives and where people are motivated to work together toward a common goal. Trust also involves vulnerability. It requires individuals to let down their guard, admit when they need assistance, and be open to feedback. This level of openness can be uncomfortable, but it is a powerful catalyst for connection and collaboration. When team members see their leaders and peers embracing vulnerability, they are more likely to do the same. This creates a ripple effect, strengthening bonds and fostering a spirit of mutual support. Collaboration in the context of an infinite game is not about competition or self-interest. It is about working together to achieve something greater than any one individual could accomplish alone. This requires a shift from a me mindset to a we mindset. Instead of focusing solely on personal success, individuals and organizations prioritize the success of the collective. This approach encourages people to share knowledge, resources, and credit for achievements, recognizing that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Building trust and collaboration also requires active listening and empathy. Effective communication is not just about expressing one's own thoughts, but also about understanding the perspectives of others. Active listening involves being fully present, asking questions, and seeking to understand, rather than simply waiting for one's turn to speak. Empathy goes a step further, involving the ability to see the world through someone else's eyes and to appreciate their feelings and experiences. Together, active listening and empathy create a foundation for meaningful dialogue and genuine connection. Diversity and inclusion are integral to trust and collaboration in an infinite game. When teams are composed of individuals with diverse backgrounds, perspectives, and experiences, they are better equipped to tackle complex challenges and innovate effectively. However, diversity alone is not enough. Inclusion is what ensures that every individual feels valued and empowered to contribute. Inclusive leadership prioritizes creating an environment where everyone's voice is heard and where differences are seen as strengths rather than obstacles. Conflict is inevitable in any collaborative effort, but how conflict is managed can either strengthen or undermine trust. In an infinite game, conflict is approached with a mindset of resolution and growth rather than blame or avoidance. Constructive conflict involves addressing disagreements with respect, seeking common ground, and focusing on solutions that benefit the collective. When handled effectively, conflict can lead to deeper understanding, stronger relationships, and better outcomes. Trust and collaboration also extend beyond individual teams or organizations. In an infinite game, success is often determined by the strength of networks and partnerships. Collaboration across boundaries, whether between departments, companies, or even industries, creates opportunities for innovation and shared progress. These partnerships are built on mutual respect and a shared commitment to the greater good, rather than short-term gains or individual agendas. Leadership plays a critical role in fostering trust and collaboration. Leaders set the tone for how relationships are built and maintained within an organization. By modeling behaviors that prioritize trust and collaboration, they inspire others to do the same. This includes being transparent about their intentions, treating everyone with fairness and respect, and recognizing the contributions of others. Leaders who prioritize trust and collaboration understand that their success is intertwined with the success of their teams and communities. Investing in trust and collaboration requires patience and intentionality. Building trust takes time, and fostering meaningful collaboration requires ongoing effort. It involves creating opportunities for people to connect, share ideas, and work together toward a shared vision. It also requires addressing and overcoming barriers to trust, such as past conflicts, misunderstandings, or systemic inequalities. By prioritizing trust and collaboration, individuals and organizations can create a foundation for sustained success and positive impact in the infinite game.